Yo, we back at it. Big brother in the building. It's always a pleasure to speak to a legend. Welcome back to VladTV. Ed Lover.
Thank you, Sean. How you been, man?
I've been good. It's good to see you, brother. You
always,
looking good.
Man. Any day above ground is a good day.
You absolutely right. It's too many that are dropping like flies out here.
Absolutely. First and foremost, I wore this on purpose. I wanted to say rest in peace to Virgil Abloh, man. That really shocked the crap out of me, man.
No, I think it shocked all of us because that just came out of nowhere. I didn't even know the man was sick. So rest in peace to Virgil for sure.
Yeah, and condolences and respect go out to his wife and his children and his whole family. And I mean, this dude shook up the world. And when you do something as significant as he did, you know, he came up, he stood on the shoulder of giants. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, you know, you got to give respect to a dude that did it the way he did it. He did it off of the shoulders of Dapper Dan and Walker Ware and Carl Kanai and you know, Cross Colors and all the fly shit we used to wear. Shout out to Tony Shelman and Nietzsche, Mecca, and all of that. You know what I mean? But big shout out to Virgil, took it to that next level, man. So shout out to him for sure.
Yeah, you know, speaking of Virgil, how would you compare his impact? If you're comparing it to the OGs like the Dapper Dans of the world, and I love that you just mentioned Tony Shelman, shout to him and so many of the other brothers that came before him.
Yeah, we just lost Phil Pabon too, man. Rest in peace to Phil, who was part of that whole movement. Yep. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would say that it was just, you know, finally what those guys fought for so many years and so many decades, Virgil had. And that was the opportunity. That's what Virgil had. And he took advantage of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Virgil wasn't talented, because he was talented. Off-White was dope. The stuff that he did with Louis Vuitton was dope. But he was given an opportunity that those guys were not given at that time.
You know, it really feels like Virgil, he was the one that shattered that glass ceiling for Black designers.
Absolutely.
You know, all Black designers, they got to a certain level, but Virgil really got into that mainstream world. And I got to commend him because he really opened it, just like some of the OGs opened the door for him. It feels like finally he opened the door for the next generation of designers to be taken serious.
Absolutely. He made the designing world look at us in a different light and say, listen, wow, these guys really are talented. And like I said, they opened the door for Virgil. Virgil just opened the door for the next generation. So there'll be more Virgils. There'll be a lot more Virgils. So hopefully we could get that moving in the right direction and this door won't close because Virgil is no longer with us.
Yeah, yep. You know, he had an upcoming Louis Vuitton and Nike collab. And it seemed like it was a homage to Dapper Dan. Are you familiar with that?
I haven't seen it yet, but anybody that does anything like that, you got to think Dapper Dan. Dapper Dan is the original, man. That's why Gucci had to do what they had to do with him. And that's why Louis Vuitton had to do what they did with him, because, you know, the internet is 100% winner. The internet has never lost. And when we saw Louis Vuitton post those pictures of that jacket and we knew straight up that it was a Dapper Dan ripoff, they had to come to the table and do something with that.
Speaking of brothers we lost, Ed, because it's getting crazy, especially in the industry that you helped to build as a pioneer, this hip hop industry, it feels like we're losing too many too soon. As you know, we just lost Young Dolph. He was laid to rest in Memphis.
Bro. Man, you want to talk about, I hear a lot of people use the term, this one hit different, but Dolph got to me like Pop Smoke got to me, like Nipsey got to me. Like, these are young cats. They're not supposed to lose their life at such a young age. And the way that Dolph was doing it, and the funny thing about it, I wondered, like, how did he get that name? Like, he, you know, I was like, did this guy was saying something, you know, to the effect that I'm like a dolphin in the water and I'm doing my thing? I didn't realize his name was Adolph, and I have an uncle named Adolph. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, okay, that's where he got Young Dolph from young Adolph. And I got it. I never really explored it that way. But for a young cat like him, that was positive, man. This dude had a wife. He had children. He had his own company. He wasn't running around acting crazy in the streets like that. No gang bang affiliations or nothing like that. And for him to lose his life, it just goes to show you, man, that you can't make a mural, Prez. You can't make a mural of fallen rappers because you always got to leave room for somebody else.
Oh my God. Now
you never know.
Man.
And I thought that we as black people would have learned, especially after Biggie and Pac. I thought that should have been the end of it. I was like, there's going to be no more shootings of black rappers and we're not going to die. Yo, I did my podcast, Come On Son, the podcast, and I did a whole thing on it, and 51% of all rappers that die of murder. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
51%.
Nah, that's insane. You know, this culture of ours, it's scary, right? Because you fight your best. All of these young artists coming up, they're fighting to get out the hood. But once they make it, they just went into a whole other level of danger.
Yeah.
That could end up, taking their life.
Yeah, and you wonder why nobody wants to keep it real. You wonder why nobody wants to stay in the hood. You can't. You cannot stay in the hood. If you make it and get to a certain level, stay in the hood. It's almost too dangerous to go back to your own city. I see Lil Boosie say your city hates you worse when you make it than they did when you was coming up.
Yep.
They don't love, man. It's no love. You got to get out of there and stay out of there, man. I give you a classic example. King Von. Now, King Von is from O Block. The church that I attend to and is a member of in Chicago, New Beginnings Church, and Pastor Corey Brooks, a great pastor, man. Right on that block. On one end was the church, the other end was a community center, right? Church is still there. Yo, King Von and them is from the worst neighborhood in Chicago. The people that they have beef with are no more than 4 blocks away from them. And it's a deadly beef where murders are happening back and forth, back and forth. You know what I mean? And he leaves from O Block to try to save his life and move to Atlanta and gets killed in Atlanta.
Insane.
It's insane.
It's insane.
And no matter what he did, I'm not privy to what charges, all the charges that he had against him that he beat and murders that people say that he did. But I knew every time that he was called by a pastor to come out and do something for the community, he showed up. Every single time.
Yeah, I mean, I learned more about Dolph, after his murder.
Right.
Just how much he was doing for his community, because I didn't know that he was that involved in the community, and everybody had nothing but positive things to say. Now, granted, when people pass away, people are going to talk the best about him, but I didn't realize just how much he was trying to give back and save the community that he came from. But, I'm looking over his career, and at one point, and it's just crazy because I don't understand why we as a people and why the rappers go through what they go through. 2017, as you know, he is shot at 100 times. Yeah. Like literally 100 times.
100
the only thing that saved his life was he was in a bulletproof SUV. Right. Is this what it come to, that you literally have to drive around like the president in bulletproof SUV?
Unfortunately, right now, I would say, yeah. If you made it to that level that he made it to, I would say, yeah, let's not even forget that he got shot before. He was shot in LA before. And then 100 shots at his SUV that saved his life. And then these guys that recently killed him, they're on camera. This is a blatant in the daytime homicide. They're on camera. Like, what are we thinking about here? What is so important that you have to murder somebody? What is that important? Is it a war of words? Did Dolph personally kill somebody in your family? I don't think so. What is going on right now that we feel like murder is the answer to everything?
I wish I could answer that question. It's so unfortunate because I remember in looking at that footage and people were out there that day and they were filming the cookie shop that he got killed in. And then the police had to rush over to Yo Gotti's spot. Yo Gotti has a retail spot down there in Memphis, and both of them was going back and forth for a while, but the cops had to rush over there just to protect and make sure it was no retaliation coming that way, because as you know, those two had a little bit of beef over the years. Yeah. So it's just crazy.
It's crazy that they're to the point where it's gunplay. Beef is beef. Beef is always going to be there. Beef is, all the way back to Shorty Low and T.I. getting at it about who's the king of Bankhead. Lil Flip getting at it with T.I. You know what I mean? 50 and Rick Ross. And even before that, all the way back to Mo D and Busy B, Jay-Z and Mobb Deep, Biggie and Pac. It was supposed to be beef always about who's the best, who runs this or who runs that in their city. That's always going to happen. But it's supposed to stay on record. The disrespect's supposed to stay on record. Disrespect is never supposed to be to the point where guns are drawn. It's never supposed to be to that point. There was a big war words going back from Jay-Z and Nas. Huge
Absolutely.
war words. That didn't end up in gunfire because they learned their lessons from what happened between Biggie and Pac, set two totally different sides of the country, the East Coast and the West Coast, against each other. And both of them brothers lost their lives. When are we going to get to the point where we get it? When are we going to get to the point where we like, yo, all right, chill. Okay, you said that, I said this. We, make money off of it. That's what I say. Get together and be like, yo, bro, I'm going to go hard at you, and then you going to go hard at me, and we're going to start this, and we're going to do this so much that people going to think it's real beef, then me and you going to drop an EP together and get all the money. That's the way you're supposed to think about it, not just, yo, he said this, that, and the third. We're going to shoot his joint. Come on, man. And it's never the artist. It's never the artist. It's always the outside dudes. Always the dudes that don't even rap.
Yep. It's always your mans in them.
Always the mans in them.
Yep. It's crazy because as big as country music is, there was rivalries in country music.
Absolutely.
There's rivalries in rock. There's rivalries in R&B music, as you know. But it never leads to this. What can be done? You lived through the whole Biggie and Tupac rivalry. And like you said, you would think that our culture would have learned from that. In your opinion, what can be done to end this cycle of violence?
I think, in my opinion, the OGs that see it have to step in. And I mean the OGs that are respected on their level. It's different. These kids are getting more money pressed than we've ever seen in our lives. Yep. These kids are getting bread because there's so many festivals out there that they could do and get a part and be a part of. They're not doing free shows no more. They're getting $100,000 to step on stage for an hour, 200, 300. Sometimes in the case of Megan Thee Stallions and Cardi B's, it's over $500,000 to do an hour show. So they're only going to respect somebody that's getting money on the level that they're getting money on. If you're an OG, you're not getting that money on their level, they're not even trying to talk to you. So I'm talking to the OGs right now, the billionaire OGs, the Dr. Dre's, I love what JB doing, the way JB taking care of certain people, making sure dudes is good, taking care of lawyer fees and stuff like that, the Nas's of the world, those dudes, the Khaled's of the world, those dudes, the Rick Rosses of the world, that are getting money on that level. You guys got to step up. When y'all see this going down, you got to bring them to the table and say, yo, man, come on. Listen, this is what it's like to be on this level. You right here, but we're right here, and let us show you how to stay alive to get right here. Y'all got to stop this before somebody gets hurt, especially after these young cats get shot. And man, I mean, the OGs just got to step in, man, because there's rules and regulations and ways to handle things. Even in the world of gangbanging, they had rules, and the rules are out the window now. Young people just shooting up everything. They don't even know how to shoot. So they get a gun, and it's just, they don't understand what recoil means. And the gun's going all over everywhere, and young people and babies is getting shot. They have to respect and listen to the OGs, and the OGs got to step in and say, hey, youngin', let me holler at you for a minute, bro. Then after that, what they do is what they do. But if they got the word from the OGs that they respect, 9 times out of 10, they're going to listen. Because you want to be alive. You don't want to be on nobody's shirt. You don't want to be a mural. What good is it when you're a mural?
Yep. One of the things that you said that I really loved is you like, the OGs got to get involved. But these OGs that you mentioned, they're not just successful in rap. They're not just successful celebrities. They're also credible before they even got into the rap game.
Right.
Many of them come from the streets, was out there doing their thing, and they was able to take rap and leave the streets behind and go out here. And in some cases, some of them are billionaires now.
Right.
You can't just have any and everybody talk to these kids. It got to be the ones that they respect, that they know this is somebody who was in my exact situation, in my exact predicament, come from where I come from. And now they excel beyond that, and they're able to talk to me on a level, where I can respect them.
Right. Absolutely. And one thing we also have to understand is we got to stop asking boys to be men. These are boys. These are youngins. They're youngins. We did some, that, Prez, we did some stupid crap.
Yep.
We did a lot of stupid crap. I can remember many a night up in the tunnel with a 45 in my waist just waiting for it to pop off. Like, somebody come through here, crazy, talking all whatever borough they from, we ready. We in the tunnel. We ready to let them hammers fly. I was a youngin'. I was 25, 24. So we got to remember who we're talking about and who we're talking to. These are young guys, and we're hoping that they don't make the mistake that's going to end up getting them killed or have them incarcerated for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. Speaking of beef, on a more positive note, Kanye West and Drake squashed their beef. We got to give it up to them because I thought... No matter
we got to give it up to E.F. Hutton, man. Jay Prince. Yeah. We got to give it up to Jay Prince. I don't know what is going on in this world, but Jay Prince needs to be an ambassador to something. Because when Jay Prince speak, bro, people are listening. That's what I'm talking about, an OG that demands and gets respect. When Jay Prince is like, yo, I need to holler at you. Cats is going to be like, what's up?
They listen.
He put that together.
And, he put that together, and the bigger picture of it is massive, right?
Right.
Because they came back together. They're doing it for a just cause. Larry Hoover.
Right.
And they're about to do this mega concert. Looking at this thing, I'm like, yo, if these guys at their level can squash the beef, it ain't no reason why youngins who are trying to get that type of paper, who are trying to get that many albums, successful gold, platinum, multi-platinum albums under their belt, that they can't do it.
Absolutely.
But to your point, the OGs got to get involved. Speaking of that, who do you think is the bigger artist in those two? Because those are two mega artists. Is it Drake or Kanye West, in your opinion?
Wow. Right now is Drake time. I'm not going to take anything away from him. When it comes to the young boys, it's Drake time. But overall, because I saw Ye do the verses, right? I mean, I saw him do Drink Champs with Nori. Shout out to Nori, Queens all day. And you have to understand that with a dude like Kanye, it's his complete body of work. Not just his rhyming, but his producing, his songwriting. Everything that he's done, if they went head to head, this hat's coming off to Kanye. I don't think he could touch Kanye. With everything that Kanye has done, you gotta remember Kanye did like Estelle joints. He did. You going all the way back to Scarface and Jay-Z. That's a Kanye West track. You talking about Lucifer off of Jay-Z's Black album. That's a Kanye West track. You talking about I Changed My Mind by Keisha Cole. That's a Kanye West track. Like, come on, Drake got a lot of hit records, but Kanye got a bigger body of work overall in the music industry. Absolutely, it's Kanye.
Okay, who dropped a better album recently? Kanye with Donda?
Drake.
Or Drake with Certified Lover Boy?
Drake.
No, that's not even up for discussion.
Not for me, it's not. No. Drake with Certified Lover Boy, for sure.
Well, I can't put it this way. I can't wait to see that concert.
Yeah, ain't nothing against Kanye. I just, you get to a certain place in your life, you understand what's for you and what's not for you. Donda wasn't for me. And I went to the joints when he had the joints, especially the one in Atlanta. I went to that one when he had the listening party. And I was like, well, what is this? It just wasn't for me. And there was a lot of young people coming, oh my God, it changed my life, oh my God. It's the best thing I ever seen in my life. Oh my God. And I was like, man, I could have stayed home and watched Stevie. This dude ain't do nothing. You don't perform. You ain't say hi. I was like, if I paid for this, I'd have been pissed. I'm giving up to Drake for the certified lover boy.
Yeah, Drake is hard to beat, man. Right now,
he knows what he's doing. Drake is LL Cool J, man. He's a new LL.
No, but you know why Drake is so dope? Because he just gives. Drake knows what his fans want.
Yeah.
And he ain't trying to remix. He's not trying to add nothing extra to it. He just keeps giving you exactly who Drake is.
He's a combination of LL Cool J and Ja Rule. Because he sing.
Yep.
And he makes great records for women. He knows who his core audience is, and he makes direct records for women, and he sings like Ja Rule, and he's already been battle tested. So, what are you gonna say? You can't say nothing about Drake. I remember one time I was going to DC, and I was leaving out of JFK. They had a shuttle. And I saw Drake. It was early in his career before he was the big superstar. You know, he had the mixtapes out and he was bubbling crazy. And it just so happens he was going to DC for something and so was I. And we ended up sitting right next to each other on the plane. And the planes, you know, it's only like 2 on one side, 2 on the other side. That's it. That's how small the planes are going from New York to DC. So we had a nice conversation for the 40-minute flight. And I asked him, what is your ultimate goal? Like when you're done in your career and you're an OG, how do you want to be remembered? And he said, I just want to be remembered in the same breath as Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, Rakim, Kane, and all of them. And I think for his generation, that's who he is. He really is. Because he done proved that he can spit.
Nah, he absolutely is. I mean, and he's consistent as a mother.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He is consistent. Since he dropped in, I think, 2008, there hasn't been a day that several of his songs haven't been on the radio. Hasn't been a day that his songs haven't been streamed. But he keeps giving you banging music.
Yeah, he does.
And that's how you become the GOAT. Stick with Kanye for a second. Kanye, we know Kanye's a little different. He's eccentric.
It's an understatement, ain't it?
Yeah. So I'm saying it nice, but he's been going public recently talking about, I want my family back. I want my wife back. But his wife is now allegedly dating Pete Davidson.
Right.
So 2 questions for you. Number 1, do you think Kanye and Kim will ever get back together? And number 2, what is it about this dude, Pete Davidson, that he is bagging every chick in Hollywood? This dude's been linked to Ariana Grande.
Well, that was his woman. That was definitely his woman. He had the tattoos and everything going on with the Ariana Grande. But if you take the fame away from her, and I know I'm gonna catch hell for this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You take the fame away from Ariana Grande, she ain't hot. She ain't hot. Not in my opinion. She's like a little girl. Like, I wouldn't talk to her. You know what I'm saying? She's just a regular looking chick to me. I've seen bad ones just walking around the streets in Ariana Grande, but she got the voice and the presence and the money. So, okay.
She's a star.
Yeah, she's a star. As far as Kim and Kanye, I think Kanye, to get his family back, will have to put the full court press on it. Like, you can't not talk about it. You got to be about it. You got to be up on her. You got to get down on your hands and knees. If you really, really love that woman and you want your family back, then you got to pull out all the stops to get your family back. You got to do it until you publicly embarrass yourself and she tell you no in front of everybody. And I might not take no for an answer after that. You have children, y'all have a family, you got a deep-rooted love for this woman, then stop talking about it in public and go be about it. That's what I would do. I would be about, yo, look, can we talk? Yo, look, let's go to counseling. Yo, look, I love you. Yo, here's 100,000 flowers. Yo, I will buy a house next to your house if that's what it takes for me to be with you and be with my kids. Can we work through this thing? If you're serious about it, stop giving me lip service and go and get your woman back, dog. If you got to stand in front of her window with a big ass boombox playing "I Miss You" by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, then that's what you got to do. Go get your woman back. Pete Davidson, I think the allure of Pete Davidson is funny dudes always get girls, man. He's funny. He's probably very charming.
Yeah.
Women love to laugh.
He gotta
if you
be.
can make them laugh.
Nah, he moving through Hollywood. I mean, he even had the OG Kate Beckinsale. This guy's moving through that whole
He's on
Hollywood
Saturday
scene.
Night Live, and he's funny. And they find funny charming. That's what it is. And maybe he carrying something we don't know about, bro. I don't talk about other men like that, but hey, I don't know. Pete Davidson moved like Nick Cannon, right?
Yeah. I didn't even
It's
think
another
about
one.
that.
His
You're
resume is
absolutely
crazy
right.
with
Another
chicks.
one. Yeah. Yo, speaking of getting your family back together and really trying to go all out and publicly doing something to where it might, make you look a certain way, but you don't care because you care about your woman. Stevie J, he had I think his computer was hacked, and there was a video that came out where he was accusing his wife's Faith Evans of having an affair. Stevie, about a week later, just went public on live and just apologized to his wife, apologized for all that went on, and was basically, I love my wife, I love my family. And that took a big man, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Stevie J and Faith, man, they don't need to be going through all that kind of stuff, man. They done had enough drama in both of their lives. You know what I mean? Enough relationship drama. It's hard to publicly play out a relationship. It's extremely difficult for them to do that. And I feel for anybody who's famous and with somebody else that's famous, it's hard to publicly play that relationship out because you can't have your regular spats like regular people. You can't cuss each other out and somebody leave out of the house mad and driving around the neighborhood and go stay at a homeboy's house for the night or go check in a hotel, because once that gets out and it's on whatever, everybody's talking about it. So, I applaud Stevie for saying, listen, I'm not going down this road again. I'm not going down the road I went down with Jocelyn when we're accusing each other publicly. Listen, somebody got my computer. It got out. That was what happens between a man and a woman. We argue, we fuss, but at the end of the day, that's my wife, and I love my wife, and we're going to get through it, and we're going to work through it. But they just got to work through this publicly. You and I can work through ours privately. You know what I mean? It's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge difference. I mean, there's a lot of weight put on any public couple, but I love the fact that Stevie stepped up, right?
That's man stuff right there.
That's grown man stuff.
That's really
right
grown
there.
man stuff right there. Look,
you were embarrassed publicly, and I'm not going to apologize privately. I'm going to, it went out there to the world. So I'm going to go ahead and double back and apologize to you in front of the whole world.
That's grown man.
This ain't about that's what a grown man does.
Yeah, where's Stevie J now? 40-something, almost 50, or maybe 50? You gotta step up at some point and be a man. I'm happy to see him do it. It's a man up time, brother. This is where you at right now. This ain't love and hip hop, bro. This is real life right now. You know what I mean? The cameras ain't rolling. You're not doing your actuality right now. Step up and man up and take care of your family. Because older you get, you're going to need that family, and you're going to hope that you got somebody that got your back 100%. That's what it is. It's man up time. Good for him.
Yeah, but those two been knowing each other for so many years. If they've been knowing each other, you know that. You go back with the Bad Boy family.
That's right.
From day one. You know they have been friends for so many years. I was just happy to see him step up because I know he loves Faith, the person, the individual, the human being. He loves that woman.
He's been in the studio when Faith was writing songs. He was in the studio when he was producing and Faith was singing background when nobody knew who Faith Evans was. You know, he was there around that time, and they had maintained a friendship for that many years. You know, so I'm happy to see him together, and I'm happy that he's stepping up as a man. And if you're going to do something publicly and get out with your aggression as public, then your apology should be just as public.
There you go. Switch topics for a second. French Montana said it's harder to make it in rap than it is to get to the NBA. Do you agree with that statement or not?
Yeah.
Really?
No, that is no, hell no. Well, he's
That is
saying
more
you get it, and let
difficult.
me get this right.
Go ahead.
Because French Montana said something, and I ain't the one to perk my ears up when French Montana says anything, okay? So he's saying that it's harder to get to be a rap artist, or it's harder to be than it is to be an NBA player.
It's harder to pop in rap. It's harder to become a rap star than it is to become an NBA star.
French Montana, please shut the fuck up. No way. Do you know how many dudes play high school basketball? Do you know how many dudes play college basketball that never get drafted into the NBA? Bruh, you can have a half-ass song and become a rap star. We've seen it a million times. Before our era, we know a million one-hit wonders. It may be just as hard to maintain, but no, it's not. No, it's harder to be an NBA player, harder to be an NBA star, way harder than it ever will be to be a rap star. Because all you got to do is catch a vibe in hip-hop. Right now in hip-hop, I'm sorry, it ain't about a skill level. I'm not saying that there aren't artists that have skills. There's a million of them that I like, that's young, and I can rattle all their names off right now, but I will not do that. What I'm saying is, if you catch a vibe in hip-hop, you don't have to have supreme skills as an MC anymore. You used to have supreme skills as an MC, but you can have a vibe now in hip-hop and still sell a lot of units, get a lot of streams, and make a lot of money. To play in the NBA, to be a star in the NBA, you have to be a cut above, 2 cuts to 3 cuts to 10 cuts above everybody else. You crazy. If you think that's true, French Montana, lace up yourself a pair of LeBrons and go out there and play one-on-one against any dude that you think is a scrub in the NBA. Play one-on-one against Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker will bust your ass, bro. Bust your ass. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now, and I'll prove it to you, French Montana. Damian Lillard got better rap skills than you got, homie. Booyaka. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. If you give me MC to MC, Dame Lillard will bust French Montana's ass. Yeah, I said it. Damn right I said it. It ain't nothing against you, French. I like your records, but that statement, dude, fuck out of here, son. Are you kidding me? Dame Lillard, you know how hard that dude had to work to become an NBA star? Harder than you had to work to become a rap star.
Huh.
And Dame Lillard's nicer than you on the mic.
Well, you know something, Ed, you so right about all you got to do is catch a vibe these days. A lot of rappers, they wasn't even rappers. They was influencers. They was something else, just had big followings.
I give you a classic example. Why the hell do I know about the Island Boys?
Exactly.
Why do I know about the Island Boys? It's catching a vibe, and they are horrible. They are horrible. Horrible. They got to perform at Live. They got booed, but somebody booked these 2 clown-ass motherfuckers for Live. Why do I know about the Island Boys? Come on. That easy? And you talking about somebody that play in the NBA? You talking about a Chris Paul? You talking about Dame Lillard? You talking about LeBron James? You talking about Anthony Davis? Come on, man. Come on. You talking about Derrick Rose? Nah. It's easier to do that Island Boys shit than it is to drop buckets in the NBA and become an NBA star. You talking about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, you talking about Patrick Ewing. Dude, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. Stick to what you know how to do, bro.
Okay, so here's another statement. Halle Berry. She recently said Cardi B is the queen of hip hop. In your opinion, right now, this moment, right now, today,
yes,
is that statement accurate?
That statement is 100% accurate. Right now, today, at this moment, the Bronx has it. It is Cardi. It is absolutely Cardi. Yes, no doubt about it. Megan is close, but it's Cardi. It's absolutely Cardi.
In your opinion, who's the all-time queen of hip-hop? And take
All
a second
time?
with that one,
All
brother.
time?
Take it
I don't do
all time.
I don't do all time because I think everybody made such a supreme contribution of their era. Right? For their era, everybody contributed something that was substantial. Right? So I don't do top 5 with men, so I'm not going to do top 5 with women. But I'm going to tell you, Light and Lauryn Hill are up there. Lauryn Hill is up there, bro.
Lauren's up there, and you got to throw Nicki in there. Nicki got to be in that conversation. She got to be.
I take points away for Ghost Riders. I take points away. Would you feel, I ask everybody this question, would you feel the same way about Tupac if Pac had a Ghost Rider?
Yeah, probably not.
Big, if Big there was some dude on Big's side writing his rhymes for him, and some dude was handing Jay a note. Nah, Jay, this is ill. And Jay was repeating what somebody else wrote for him. So we all know Safari wrote for Nicki. I got to take some points away. Lauryn Hill did this. Remy Ma did this. Eve does this.
Ed, according to Nicki herself, she adamantly was like, Safari never wrote for me. Adamant.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
I don't know.
Fendi said Safari was writing.
So you're going to take that?
I'm taking my man Fendi's word. It's not hate.
Shout to Big Fendi.
Shout out to Deb Antony.
Shout to Deb Antony. Yeah.
They know. They know the real. I ain't saying she ain't got a pen game. I'm saying there was a lot of help going on over there.
Okay, let's keep it in New York for a second. A New York City legend in the streets. Some would call him famous, others would call him infamous. The legendary street hustler Alpo Martinez, killed in Harlem. Number one, did you ever meet or know Alpo?
Met through mutual people way back in the days. Way back in the days. Dudes that I knew from New York that used to hustle crazy, be up in front of Willie Burgers, one of those, yo, what's up? This is my man. Yeah, how you doing? Type thing. Not a whole lot of interaction. Nah.
Okay. Was you surprised it happened?
No. Not surprised at all.
Why not?
Alpo's dirty, man. Alpo broke every single rule of the game, and he ain't the first one to do it, because Nicky Barnes did the same thing. A rat. So a rat is a rat. We had a code. Everybody knows that there was a code that you live by. The code was, if you got popped, you took it, because that's part of the game. You knew that when you got in the game. So as big as a rat that Alpo was, as many people that Alpo killed personally or had his mans in them do it, for all of those people that he did dirty, for all of those dudes that are still locked up right now because of Alpo, I was not surprised at all. Not at all. It could have came from anywhere. I'm not surprised. What I am surprised about is that once he disappeared, he didn't stay away. Why come back to Harlem?
That's where I was about to go with this. Did it surprise you even that this man, knowing, I mean, it could have come from anywhere.
Yeah.
Any place. You got a lot of people who want your head. Was you surprised, like, yo, this dude, because there's videos out of, this wasn't the first time he went back to Harlem.
Right.
People was taking pictures with him.
Yeah.
It was like a celebrity came
he
home.
was in Harlem like, y'all can't touch me. Like, I'm Alpo. Y'all know what I used to do out in these streets. Y'all can't mess with me. Y'all little whatever. Y'all know what it is. And it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that, man. It reminds me of a song that Dre had on a Chronic called Little Ghetto Boy. And it's him and Snoop, and he's talking about, coming from home, hit these little dudes in the pockets, and all I heard was 6 shots. I never knew a young dude would carry a gat like that, and he, fell to the ground with blood on my hands and didn't understand how a young dude can bust a cap. I guess I was the same way back. I guess that's what I get for trying to clock them little homies for their grip. And that's what that same song popped in my mind when Alpo got killed. And I was like, dude, you should have stayed away from Harlem. Like, you were doing interviews with people on camera describing where you were and how you had Rich Porter killed. You did it on camera for like these street DVDs. And I'm like, why are you in Harlem talking about this? You got a lot of people from DC that are in jail right now because you snitched on them. You got people in Brooklyn whose fathers you done had killed, or you killed yourself. You know what I mean? And you back here, man, y'all, I'd have been in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, somewhere next to Kanye West. Y'all never saw me again. And you told on like everybody, dog. Like, come on, you should. I want some.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, the biggest drug on planet Earth
Fame.
is fame.
Fame.
It's fame. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, it's fame.
It is more addictive than heroin. It's more addictive than coke. The biggest drug ever introduced to mankind was fame. So him going back and people accepting him, he couldn't stay away from that drug.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
And, just to speak on the point you made earlier, they saying that it probably had nothing to do with his old beef.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it didn't have nothing to do with his old beef. I heard it was some new stuff that he was into.
Yeah, crazy.
Now, did he throw drugs out of the car, or is that just something the police is saying?
Yeah, I think it's something the police is saying.
Me too, because who trusts them?
You saw, well, put it this way. It's pictures of the car, the window's up. The shots went through the window. So how was he throwing anything, packets of anything outside the car?
Who trusts what the damn police say? And that's their problem.
Yeah.
Who trusts y'all? Come on. We don't trust y'all. We have never had a reason to trust the police. Ever. Only police officer I ever trusted was my brother and my friend, my man Phil and my man Pat. The 3 police that I know. All of them other ones, oh, he had drugs or I don't believe that. Because they want to associate that with Alpo. So they have a reason to. But from what I'm hearing from the street, from my people in Harlem, it ain't had nothing to do with his old beefs. Nothing at all.
Yeah, I heard it was new. I mean, it's a whole new crop of dudes on these streets, and they don't care.
Nah.
They didn't respect your legacy.
You better
they don't
respect them. You better respect them. They don't respect your legacy, bro. Nah, not at all. Yo, that's such and such, man. I was 10 when he was doing that. Or I wasn't even born.
I wasn't born.
Right, I wasn't born.
Nah, like that's just some old man who was once upon a time out here getting it. Period.
Right. Who they made a little movie out of and about his shenanigans and Rich and, and all of them. Nah, crazy.
Well, speaking of old men, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court was recently asked to review Bill Cosby's overturned conviction. Now, last time me and you spoke, you told me, I think it was y'all last interview you and Dre did on Yo MTV Raps. Bill Cosby was that y'all last?
It wasn't
interview?
our last one. Our last one was the big cipher and going
with
away.
Everybody. Yep.
Bill Cosby was a guest on Yo MTV Raps for a week, and I did do the Cosby Show twice.
Yep.
Yo, listen, he beat it. Leave it alone. Leave it. Man, white people sometime, boy, and I know this is white people. It's just, certain things just ring white people. This got white people written all over it. None of Bill Cosby's shit started to happen until he said, I'm buying NBC. Once he made that announcement that he was buying NBC, all of a sudden his son gets killed. That was a message to him to back down. Now all these allegations come to up against him. He paid people out of his pocket for stuff that he did wrong. They waited right till the statute of limitations was about to expire and brought him up. He already had a deal that he couldn't even be prosecuted. That's the reason why they had to let him go. He had a deal in place with the former prosecution in the state of Pennsylvania that if he tells what really happened truthfully in his deposition, he would not be prosecuted. And he did. And the young lady got paid. Then they drug him back in court just so they can lock up an icon, just so they can erase everything that Bill Cosby has done that's positive. Every single thing. He's America's dad. So now you want to pull the Cosby Show off the air so that there's nothing positive for everybody to look up to, right? Now he beat it. He home. He's damn near 1,000 years old. Leave it alone. What's the point?
Nah, Ed,
Evil ass fucking white people, man.
I
Evil
almost
sometimes.
can't believe that they are wasting money, time, tying up the courts on this nonsense. The man,
Right.
like you said, he's a damn near 1,000 years old, can't see. It's like how much, granted, if what he is alleged to have done happened, I could see. Maybe the victims want to see him rot in jail, die in that place.
Right. You can understand that point of view. Any of us
Yes,
can.
anybody can. But it was overturned because of the deal that you just mentioned. Like, let this man just go.
Let him
he ain't
live,
gonna be
man.
around
Let him
too
live
much
out the
longer
rest
anyway.
of his life. He hardly knows where he is. He's suffering from some dementia. How much longer does he really have? It's really trying to bury and burn this man's legacy to the utmost. And I'm sorry if there's white viewers that watch this and be like, hey, that's bullshit. No, we always know there's a conspiracy against us. It ain't no way you're gonna tell me that it ain't. These are just right-wing conservative white people that just want Bill Cosby taken down. And they mad because he did his time, they overturned it, he beat it, and he back home, and he still got bread. And that's what's eating him up the most.
Yeah,
Take his name off his shit at Temple University. You know how much money he gave to Temple University? Did y'all give him the money back? No. Kept his bread, but gonna take his name off of shit. Like, come on, y'all. Let's call it what it is. Being black in America and being a man, you're an endangered damn species, bro.
Yeah. The beef. Well, I wouldn't even call it beef. I'd say the war of words between Lil Nas X and Boosie. You familiar?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I try to stay up on my
thoughts
current
on
events. That? You know what? Lil Nas X has the freedom to do whatever he wants to do. And Boosie should have the right to disagree with that. Because it all comes down to sexuality. And if Lil Nas X doesn't agree with Boosie's sexuality, Boosie should have the right to disagree with Lil Nas X's sexuality. It's a war of words. It's words that people are beefing about. What Boosie said when Lil Nas X said, I got a record coming out with Boosie. That was a lie. You don't have a record coming out with Boosie. So Boosie's like, why are you dragging me into this? We're in America now where you can't even say anything you want to say, and it's so bad that it's trickling down to comedians. Like, as a stand-up comedian, I gotta watch what I say. So, but if the LGBTQ community wants to be a part of everyday life and everyday society, you gotta learn how to take a joke. You gotta learn how to, you gotta become just like everybody else. And we make a white joke, white people don't go crazy. I mean, I think one of the roughest things that Dave Chappelle said is when he did the joke about the Jewish community. And he was like, I call it Space Jews. And he did it twice.
Yep.
And the Jewish community didn't say anything because now they're like, yo, we could take a joke. He was joking. It's not serious. You know, we got to stop that. Unless people are saying, go kill this person or harm this person. You guys should be able to have a right to say whatever you want to say, man. He's not in a position of power to harm anybody. Boosie's not, he's a rapper. He's a rapper. Like Chappelle said, I said, nigga, 700,000 times on the Chappelle show and nobody said anything.
That was such a freaking hard line, and it was so true.
It's very true.
So true.
Very true. You say nigga 1,000 times and don't nobody say anything. You make one joke or say you disagree with something and it's, he's anti. How's somebody anti? Live your life. I'm living my life. Do you, I do me. If I don't agree with it, I don't agree with it. If you don't agree with it, you don't agree with it. That's what America is. It's supposed to be freedoms, not all of this gang jump. They did like a crew jumping on, you said this, you're canceled. Man, calm down, everybody. Calm down.
Yo, you've been around hip hop. You personally have been around hip hop damn near your whole life.
Yeah, pretty
right?
much.
Yeah, you...
More so than not. I would say the majority of my life more was in hip hop than was not in hip hop.
Absolutely. Are you surprised that in 2021 there's an openly gay rapper with number one songs?
Nah, I knew that.
You're not surprised.
Nah, I'm not. Nah. And we've been had gay rappers. They just weren't outside the so-called closet. You know, good for him. Good. There's been lesbian rappers and there's been weird stuff happening in all the music business. Everybody was just afraid. I'm glad we now have the freedom to say, this is my sexuality. Good for him.
I agree. I think it's good for him.
I think it's good for everybody.
But as we know, he's not the first.
Nah.
There's been rumblings and talks down through the years. We all know, and I always said to myself,
who's the gay rapper, right?
Yeah. Who's the gay rapper? Who's the gay DJ?
Right.
The bottom line is, I think that this thing would have moved forward within our culture so much earlier had people just lived their truth.
Right.
You know, really, yes, the world is more accepting.
It's just sexuality. Like, that's what it is. It's just sexual preference. I don't care. I don't care.
I agree.
We all need to get to a point where we're not judging each other based on each other's sexuality. We need to get to a point where we don't even know each other's sexuality unless it's asked. You understand what I'm saying? This has been such a heterosexual ran society for so long that they oppressed people that felt different than they are, that now that people are free to be who they want to be, it's like, okay, I'm this. No, you're still a person. You're still a man. You're still a woman. You just like other women and you just prefer other men. See, if it was even from the beginning, we wouldn't have all of this back and forth right now. It should have been open from the beginning of time. It should have just been open. It shouldn't have been frowned upon like it was frowned upon. And it's funny, like that some of the people that have been such staunch heterosexual monsters and heterosexual gang members, them are the people that's doing the other stuff. Them are the people right now that we're hearing about that was hanging out on Jeffrey Epstein's plane going to the private island. You're the ones that's messing with underage girls and all of the, you know what I'm saying? You're not right. So how you going to tell somebody else how to live their life? It should have just been cool from the beginning and it wouldn't have been no shock. So what if his sexual preference is men, cool. If he can make records and rap, cool. So what?
Yeah, but you gotta agree historically, and I don't even want to put words in your mouth, but historically, do you think that hip hop has been homophobic and misogynistic?
Hell yeah. Because it was a macho thing. Hip hop was a macho thing, but the world is different. This is almost 2022. The world is different. It's not going to be just, look how hard women had to fight to really have a voice and to be respected in hip hop. You know, it was always anything other than heterosexual male is soft. That's what it's always been. It's always been, the F word has always been used as a downer against other men. It's always been that way. You know what I mean? And now things are turning, and I don't think heterosexual men know how to handle it. Doesn't affect you, bro. Who he sleeps with don't affect you. It don't affect me. I don't care. God bless him.
Yeah, God bless him.
And you're a grown man.
Yeah. Yeah. We was talking about Dave Chappelle earlier. Dave Chappelle, to me, he's always been funny, always been hilarious. I have always loved
he's
Dave
a genius.
Chappelle. But he's going somewhere different now.
Yeah.
Ed. He's like he is beyond. It almost feels like you're doing him a disservice just referring to him as a comedian.
No, he's a genius, man. His really comedy now, he's found it. It's a thing. It's a thing. I remember when Chris Rock was doing the movie Top 5, we were all in New York and they had like a forum and stuff on Top 5, and it was just us talking about hip hop, and Chris was there, and Rosario Dawson was there, and Angie Martinez was there. It was a lot of us, and it was just like a round table discussion about our top 5 in hip hop. And I had an opportunity as a stand-up comedian to ask Chris Rock a question off camera, and my question was, when did you find your voice? Every comedian has a voice. You find your groove. You find your thing. And Chris was telling me, he said, because I hadn't found mine yet. And he was like, and I'm still trying to find it. And he was like, Ed, it's gonna come. You just gotta be patient. He said, for a long time, I found myself on stage talking about nothing until I found my voice, what I know, what I'm good at, what my truth is. And that's what Dave's found. Dave's in that groove where he just is. Like, he can talk and the punchline could be minimal and it's hilarious. He's just having a conversation. His comedy is not like, hey, guess what? I just flew back from LA and and then we get the story and then boom, the punchline. It's a conversation. He's in a groove. He's a vibe, man. And he's a genius at it. And the reason why I say he's a genius is if you look at the credits, it's all written by Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
There's no other names on there. Even as far back as Pryor being one of the greats, you learn now that Robin Williams wrote and Paul Mooney wrote and
Paul Mooney.
Right. And this person wrote and that person wrote. And when you look at some of Eddie's early stuff, you found out that Keenan and Damon and what's my man name that did I'm gonna get you sucker. Robert Townsend.
Robert Townsend.
And them cats wrote for Eddie, right? There's been additions to Kevin Hart's material from some of the Plastic Cup Boys. This is all Dave, man. And he's in that groove. And even, there's cats that even added for Chris. But this is all Dave, bro. He's in a groove. He's in a zone.
Okay, so question for you. Do you think Dave, is he bigger than being canceled? Do you think he can be canceled?
Yeah, you can't cancel him. He's too big.
He's too big, right?
He's too big. He's just telling jokes. It's nothing to cancel
here's another
him for.
thing, Ed. Could anybody else have done what he did? Because he
stood on it. Prez, he's standing on it. He's standing on it. Remember when everybody handles things differently, right? Remember Kev was bubbling and Kev was starting to get there and the movies were starting to come more often and he was doing it and he was supposed to do the Academy Awards. And then he said something on Twitter a long time ago that he'd rather be something than find out that his son was gay. And they got at him and they made him withdraw from hosting the Oscars. And then he had to apologize for it. Dave ain't apologizing, bruh. Dave's like, I got my bread. See, Kev at that time didn't have enough bread where he could stand on it. Dave got enough bread where he's saying, I'm standing on this because this is just jokes. I'm not telling anybody that I hate them. I'm not telling anybody that they're not real people. I'm not telling anybody to go out and hurt somebody or to go out and find your local transgender person and punch them in the face. I'm telling jokes about them. All I'm saying is this is real and this is like Beyond. Like you got a beef burger that's a Beyond burger. That's funny. It's not harmful. It's funny. Learn to take a joke. And he's standing on it because he got enough bread that he can stand on it. And he has enough support that he can stand on it. Because once you start taking the voice of the comedian away, what's left? We can't now, if I say something about white people, or I make a joke about white people, now I'm going to get canceled by all the white people. If I make a Puerto Rican joke, the Puerto Ricans are outside. It's jokes. That's all. Comedians been saying off-colored jokes forever. All the way back to Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Moms Mabley, all of them. Always had off-colored jokes. Eddie Murphy, off-colored jokes. You're not canceling them. He's standing on it. That's what makes him special.
You mentioned some big names. You mentioned huge names who are very, very relevant right now. The Chris Rocks of the world, the Kevin Harts of the world. Could anybody else have pulled this off, in your opinion?
Nah. I don't think so. I don't think they would have stood on it, man. Because they were so far embedded into it to get movies and to have, their specials. Dave is on like a startup. Like, if you really think about it, Netflix is a startup, right? Netflix is a startup that was like, nah, I ain't worrying about NBC, ABC, whoever's network, BET, MTV. I'm not worrying about the conglomerates. This is what we doing at Netflix. And this is what we gonna show. And This is for people that don't want to deal with that just want to see this. And everybody gravitated towards Netflix, and Netflix became a term, Netflix and chill. And Netflix is like, you ain't got Netflix? Like, let me get your Netflix password so I can watch these great cutting edge shows on Netflix. He's not worried about whether he gets a movie. He's not worrying about the big movie companies or none of them. He don't care. I'm a stand-up comedian. I got my Netflix specials, and I'm standing on it. Because I don't care about the rest of that. I did Chappelle's show. I don't give a damn if I don't get no movie. I don't care if I'm not in just for first thing that popped in my head, Jumanji 4. I don't care if I'm not in Iron Man or all of that. You got to understand everybody else you're talking about went on to become movie stars. So too much controversy would have got them canceled out of their movie careers. Dave ain't worried about no movie career. Dave did his own documentary about the whole joint in the cornfield and all of that. And all the people that turned up to perform everywhere that he did these little movie premieres at all these stadiums. Dave is like a comedic superhero right now, man, because he's standing on it. He's fighting for us. He's fighting for Deion Cole. He's fighting for Kevin Hart. He's fighting for Chris Rock. He's even fighting for Murphy if Murphy decided to get back on the stage to say what we want to say. He's fighting for Jay Leno. He's fighting for Jimmy Kimmel. He's fighting for he's fighting for Bill Burr. He's fighting for a lowly comedian like me. He's fighting for talent. He's fighting for Ray DeJean. He's fighting for Smokey, Capone, for all of us to be able to say what the fuck we want to say when we on that stage without worrying about somebody canceling us because we made a joke. It's a joke. You're supposed to take it, go home, laugh. You know what I mean? But he wasn't worried about that other side, that movie side, that TV side. He don't care about that. He's a stand-up comic, and that's what he is, in the truest sense of the form. He's not worried about this, I need to be the next level stand-up comic. That's why he do what he does, because he's just a comic.
Yeah, nah, he's on the next level. I mean, this man is truly the GOAT, and I love him for what he's doing, because he is, like you said, standing on what he believes, and doing that will make you a legend.
Yeah, you know when I knew Dave was L?
Yeah.
Dave gets on stage and smoke in places where I know there's no smoking. You know damn well there's no smoking in them buildings. You motherfucker was in Radio City Music Hall like, boof. There's a whole shit. He's smoking. I know they were like, there's no smoking in here, Mr. Chappelle. Like, yeah, guess what? I'm smoking. I loved it so much. I was in Charlotte. I started to light a cigar up on the stage, and there was no smoking there. I'm like, fuck it, I'm performing. Poof. But I ain't at Dave Chappelle's level yet, so I love him for that, because he's just going to break the rules, man. He's going to do it the way he wants to do it. And later on, every comedian will thank Dave Chappelle for what he's doing for us right now.
Agreed. Speaking of people who break the rules and are also controversial, the rumor mill's going crazy. Word came out that Wendy Williams, she is suffering from the early stages of dementia. This. She's in a wheelchair. Her brother came out and denied those claims. But what was crazy is a lot of people went on social media and they were celebrating that Wendy had this medical condition going on.
I'm not going to celebrate
saying
that.
It's karma.
I'm not going to celebrate that. I know Wendy. I've known Wendy for a long time. I'm not going to celebrate that. Would I say Wendy made some mistakes in her early part of her career, dragging people? Yeah. But would I wish this kind of illness on Wendy? No, Wendy made something out of nothing. She did. She's the #1 rated show in the daytime, on daytime television. She's been through it all. She's been publicly cheated on and embarrassed by her husband. She had a son that was addicted to K2, that she had to get her son off the drugs. She's been through enough, So, nah, I'm not going to co-sign everybody saying, well, good for her, da-da-da-da-da. Nah, it was karma. No, because if that's the case, then we all got something coming. I don't wish that on nobody, man. I wish her a speedy recovery. Hopefully she get back to 100% and get back and do her show. I like Wendy a lot. I wish her nothing but the best.
Yeah, I wish
she drugged me one time. Oh, I got drugged. But forgiveness, forgiveness is part of what God tells us to do. You know?
Yes.
So if we're going to be godly people, then we got to learn how to forgive people.
You're down there in the ATL. Young Thug recently said Atlanta rappers will dominate rap for the next 10 years. You agree or disagree?
Who said that? Young Thug and the French Montana co-signed that? Come on, son. For the next 10 years, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Yes, Atlanta rappers have a big part of what's going on in hip hop. God bless y'all. We love you. You've learned to open the door up and to do your thing. But rap is global right now. Drake is not from Atlanta. He ain't even from the United States. He's from the 6. He got everybody saying the 6. We didn't know what the 6 was. We didn't know that. Drake is the number one dude in the world right now. He's not from the United States, ladies and gentlemen. He's from Toronto. Cardi B, Bronx, New York. Nicki Minaj, Queens, New York. Are you kidding me, bro? 50 Cent is killing television. Where is he from? He is from Queens, New York. Jay-Z is not dead. Where is he from? Brooklyn, New York. Nas just dropped an album and got a Grammy for the one before that. Where is he from? Queens, New York. There's room for everybody. Why do we have to go through this territorial crap? It makes no sense. Atlanta rappers make huge contributions to music just as well as everybody else. Yo Gotti, Young Dolph, Memphis, Tennessee, bro. What are you talking about? Everybody is not from Atlanta. Young Thug, please go back in your house, go in your closet, pull out a different color skirt, put it back on, and go do what you do, bro, because you're dead ass wrong about that. Because there's contributions now from hip hop. It's coming from all over the country and all over the world. No. Atlanta rap will, no. It's like were we dumb enough to think that New York was going to dominate hip hop forever? Were we that blind and stupid to think that that was going to happen? The South got something to say. Remember the 95 Source Awards when Drake said that from Outkast?
Yes, sir.
He was absolutely
yes,
right. And other people got something to say too. Everybody's, it's open. It's a wide open. Come on, man. Megan Thee Stallion is from Houston, Texas. The City Girls are from Miami, Florida. Bro, what are you talking about, bro? No. No, sir. No, young thugger, whatever. No, bro.
Well, you got to give him credit. He loves his hometown.
This is the same dude that say that he bigger than Jay-Z. I remember when he said that. I remember that. And when he say he don't listen to, I don't know, Andre 3000. I don't know who that. I ain't. What he?
So the bottom line is take what he say with a grain of salt.
What was he on? No, he dead ass wrong. It's coming from everywhere, bro. No, nobody got domination on it no more. Nobody.
Yeah, I want to read something to you for a second. Get your thoughts on it. Will Smith just dropped a book. Actually, it's a dope read if you didn't get a chance to read it. But he said in the book, and I'm quoting this, I hated that I wasn't what Tupac was in the world. And I suffered a raging jealousy. I wanted Jada to look at me like that. In your opinion, I know you know Tupac. You go way back with Pac. Did you ever see Jada and Tupac together?
Yeah. But they were friends. It was a friendship.
So for Will, right, and I get the sense that he knows that was a friendship, but he feels like they shared a bond that maybe he still to this day doesn't share with his wife.
That's because it keeps getting brought up. And after a while, it would irk my nerves too. It would really irk my nerves, man. And I understand that. But wishing that you could be to your woman what another man is to her, I don't know. No, I stand on my my machismo. So I wouldn't even been worried about no Pac like that. Not with my woman. No, if that's her friend, that's her friend. All right, cool. But are you pining over this dude? Like, am I like just a replacement or a cup holder for you? Like, are you waiting for Pac to say, yeah, well, come on, and you're gonna run away from me to be with him? Then what are you doing with me in the first place? So a little bit of insecurity in every man I can understand. But you will, man. You will. And you did your thing. You're a trailblazer. You made your mark in society, man. You kicked the door wide open for most hip hoppers to actually get taken seriously and get roles on television and movies, man. You was one of the first people to do it. I wouldn't have been worrying about how she felt about her friendship with Pac. And Pac has been gone for so long now. Why do people keep bringing up Pac, man? He ain't even here to defend himself on nothing. You know what I mean? Like, are we using him as a selling point to get people to read my book?
Yeah, but that's when you know.
I don't know, man. It's just it's all convoluted when it comes to Pac, man. It really is. Because I never saw, the time that I was around him, I saw him on the hunt with other women. I seen him around a whole lot of other women at a lot of different times. And I never once was privy to him saying anything about Jada except that they were friends. That's it. That's my girl.
Well,
are we going down there? Y'all got to holler at Jada. That's my girl. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go hit that. You know, I've heard him say that on a lot of people, but never on Jada. So I don't understand where that came from.
I mean, speaking about Jada, her and Will, a lot's come out in the media recently with this new book, and with the whole red table talk that she does. What is your thoughts on the whole? And I don't know if we would classify it as an open relationship that they have, an open marriage. You know, at one point, I mean, they even brought a new term to life with the whole entanglement thing.
It's only an entanglement if homeboy know about it. I don't understand why she ain't get dragged more for that. I don't understand why for that August Alsina thing, I don't understand why she ain't get dragged more for that, man. If I did that, I'd have got torn to shreds. If I was betting somebody that was a friend to my kid, bruh, come on, bruh. Scott, see, this what makes me mad. If when men do it, we toxic and we're animals. When women do it, it's an entanglement. That wasn't no entanglement. You took advantage of that young boy. You did. You knew he was fragile, and you let that boy get his feelings all mixed up in you, and you bedded that young boy down. And that young boy thought he was in love with you. That's not an entanglement. You had a straight up relationship with a kid that's supposed to be your kid's friend. Whoa, if we'd have did that, Prez, we'd have been done, man. I'd have got canceled for that one for sure. I'd have got canceled. I'd have been put in the R. Kelly category, everything. Well, she do it, it's an entanglement. Nah. And I think their relationship wasn't known to the public, but it was known to the industry. It was known to the industry.
Yeah, there's been rumors
forever,
for years.
For 25 years, yeah.
Yep.
That they was able to do whatever they wanted to do. Long as the other one
But I think right now,
knew.
Yeah, they're just owning it. They're owning their truth.
Yeah, they're owning it now.
And when you own your truth, yeah, nobody can be mad at you. I mean, I think it was Oprah who asked him, you know, was you upset when you found out about August Alsina? And he was like, no. He's like, no, I wasn't. I mean, he probably knew before it even went down.
Yeah.
So
he knows it so well, he probably, yeah, she on that right there. You know what I mean? But if August Alsina was not one of her friend's kids, I wouldn't have anything to say about it. But come on, man. It's like me snaking one of my daughter's friends. You know what I mean? Like that's something off about that.
Yo, last time me and you spoke, you were very, very direct and matter of fact about the fact that Stretch from Queens,
my man,
did not. Yes, your boy, your brother, R.I.P. Stretch. He did not set up Tupac.
It's impossible.
Now, Nas on King's Disease 2, he got a song called Death Row East.
The song that I'm on the end of.
Yes, that song right there. He got a dope line right before you come in. And he said, there's a rumor that spread I'd like to address. Pac was never set up by Stretch. Let it rest. Did you know ahead of time that he was gonna make a song like that? And
I
I
knew that he wanted my vocals on the end of King's Disease because I was contacted by his people at Mass Appeal about getting a clearance to use it from his concert in Nassau Coliseum, that he allowed me to walk out on the stage and tell everybody that Pac had passed away. But that line I didn't know about. So I reached out to him and thanked him for saying the line that he said, because coming from him, it has a lot of concrete, everybody's going to look at it in a different way. And him and Stretch knew each other, but they weren't as tight as me and Stretch are. He was more tighter with E Moneybags than he was with Stretch. He knew Stretch and stuff. But I'm glad that he finally put that to rest. And I still want to say publicly again, thank you, Nas, for putting that mess to rest. I am glad that you did that. Very glad.
Yeah, I thought it was dope too, him using your vocals from the actual concert.
Yeah, that was dope. I was surprised when I got the call about it too.
Yeah, I mean, did you even know those vocals existed? Like,
yeah, because it's been on YouTube. It's been on YouTube for a long time. That somebody videotaped that, and it was been on YouTube for a long time. And somebody will always tell me about, I remember when you did the thing, or somebody that was actually there that's telling me, I remember the night you came on stage and announced to everybody that Pac had died, at Nassau Coliseum, and it's on YouTube and all of that. And I was 100% shocked that he took that and wanted to use my vocals on the end of that,
It's crazy too, because before Pac passed, he had a little beef with.
Oh, him and Nas was beefing, definitely.
Yeah, they was beefing for real.
Yeah.
Him, Nas,
Mobb Deep.
What do you call it? Mobb Deep. So when you approached him, what was that conversation like with him backstage? When you approached him saying, yo, I want to.
No, it was on the side of the stage.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I had came in and he was already on stage performing. And, one of his people, I was like, yo, man, Nas got to tell everybody Pac just died. Like, he just died. I was driving to Nassau Coliseum and Angie was on the radio. And Angie was just full of tears and despair. And you can hear it in her voice. And she was openly crying on the radio, announcing that Pac had just passed away. And I was like, yo, Nas, you got to tell everybody, he got waved over, and it was like, yo, dude, I was telling him, I said, yo, man, you got to go back out there and tell everybody that Pac just died. Like, he just died, like, not even an hour ago. And he was like, yo, man, he's like, you know how Nas is. He was very shy, very laid back. And he's like, yo, I can't do that, man. He was like, you and the homie was real tight. You go out there and tell him. And I was like, all right. And I went out there and told everybody that was there that didn't have a radio in their hand, and there was no internet service. Nobody had Wi-Fi, and there wasn't no way to look in your phone. And, you had everybody's attention in there. Nobody was doing this with camera phones. You know what I mean? Nobody, they wouldn't let you walk in there with that big ass VHS tape and a camera on your shoulder. You wasn't filming nobody's concert like that at that time. And he allowed me to get up there and let everybody know that Pac had passed away. And no matter what was going on, no matter who was beefing, no matter him and Big, or him saying stuff about Nas, or him saying stuff about Mobb Deep, or him talking about Death Row was coming to the East Coast and taking over New York. He's one of our brothers, man. It's hip hop. Beef happens, but at the end of the day, he's one of our brothers. He's a kid that was born in New York, so he's definitely one of us.
Nah, I think it was big of Nas to even let you, because you really kind of interrupted the concert.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that was big of him to let you have the mic, have the stage, to go announce that.
In the middle of his concert. He didn't say, wait till I finish and do it. He didn't say, yo, you're going to bring the crowd down. Yo, I got to finish. Yo, you're going to bring everybody down. He didn't think about that. He was selfless in that moment. I didn't think about it. I didn't think like, damn, if he say it now, all the people that love Tupac going to be like, it's going to bring down his momentum. I ain't think about it. I just say, yo, you tell everybody. I didn't say tell him now. I didn't say, you could have waited to the end of his show. It was like, yo, listen, he was selfless, and that's who he is as a man and as a person. And I will always thank him for that because he put that information out there to people before he even thought about his whole show. A lot of people would have been like, nah, son, they rocking out there. Let me finish. And then when I finish, somebody announced it, but not in the middle of my shit. He didn't even think about it like that. He was like, yo, go do your thing here.
Yo, to this day, you and Nas, y'all always represent, no matter where y'all have landed in your careers, you always represent Queens to the fullest.
Absolutely.
Always. Are you still good with Nas to this day?
Yeah. Yeah, man. When I see Nas, it's nothing but love. Now, I wouldn't say me and Nas are best friends. I ain't got Nas on speed dial. But when I see the homie, come on, man. It ain't nothing but love, man. The Queens coming out of Queens for us was a struggle, man. The only other borough I think had more of a struggle was probably Staten Island. We was not respected at all. Queens, Staten Island was not. The Bronx was respected. KRS-One murdered us. Put us further under a rock. The Bronx was respected. Brooklyn was respected. Manhattan, Uptown, super respect. All the way down to the Lower East Side of Manhattan, respected, man. Queens and Staten Island. We was considered the desert. That's what they used to tell us. We live in the desert. That's how Clue and them came with Desert Storm. Because people used to say we live
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they said we live in the desert. If you was like you in Queens, you from where? Queens, way out there? That's far. Y'all got grass, son. We ain't got no grass. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't live in a concrete jungle. We were middle of, mid-level blacks, man. We had houses and parents, and so we wasn't from the hood. It became the hood after crack, but that wasn't a hood. That was a step up. Like when you got some bread, you moved to Queens. So we was not respected at all. And Staten Island, forget about it. I got to take a ferry to get over there. I got to go like 3 bridges to get all over there. I got to take the train. I got to go this way on the train and you wasn't going to Staten Island like that. You wasn't going to Staten Island.
Yeah.
Not even because you were afraid of Staten Island, because that's where, quote unquote, that was mob territory. So we just thought Staten Island was nothing but full of Italians. We didn't even know all them projects and all of that existed. So I would say between the 2 least boroughs in New York City that got no respect was Queens and Staten Island.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. With the whole no respect thing in mind, who do you think won that battle? Nas or Jay-Z?
Come on, bruh.
2 titans going at it in their prime.
Nas, man. It was Nas. He spanked Hov. I'm sorry, he spanked him. He spanked him bad, too. He spanked him. Because when Jay came, Jay's first diss wasn't just aimed at Nas. Remember, it was Nas, it was Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep got it first.
Yes.
Then he just kind of slid Nas in there. And I remember the first time I ever heard Ask Nas, he don't want it with Hov. Well, I was like, whoa. Did he actually say Nas's name? He don't want it with Hov? Then he went on a rampage about Nas, right? And then at the end of it, he was like, and all you other rappers taking shots at Jigga, I just got half a bar for you. Fuck y'all niggas. So it was apparently that little line was supposed to be about J.O. Felony. That's what I heard from back in the days. And a couple of other people that was taking shots at Jay. Nas took his time, bro. He sat back.
People didn't think he was coming with
He didn't
nothing.
even actually come with the automatic response that we thought he was going to run in the studio that night. It was weeks before Nas dropped Ether. And when he dropped Ether, he said everything about Jay that cats in the barbershop was saying about him. Everything that cats in the barbershop was like, yo, this dude keep putting, man, he's stealing Biggie shit. This dude, what is that? Dame think he Puff now? And this nigga think he Biggie? Got Biggie died, now you want to ride Biggie like that? Everything he said is something that somebody in the barbershop had said. But I think one of the greatest lines that Nas said in that song is, Rockefeller dies of AIDS. That was the end of his chapter. And that's the motherfucker y'all name your company after? Oh, I get it. I rock hoes, y'all rock fellas. I was like, ooh.
Nah, but yo, Ed, do you remember the song opened up so hard?
Yeah, it did.
Like
fuck Jay-Z. That was ill. You nigga, you been on my dick. I was like, yo, fuck Jay-Z. I was like he just
when that beat dropped and he just oh my goodness.
It wasn't a normal type of beat either. It wasn't like, you know, it was an off beat. It was like and he just
it felt like the beat named itself, because when you hear that beat, it feel like it should be named Ether. Like that beat felt dangerous.
Yeah, man. I love
second
Jay.
it dropped.
Jay know I love him. And I'm sorry, Jay, if you ever see this, bro. I love you, man. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. I love your music, bro. You my man, but man, I can't lie to you, bro. Nas gave it to you, bro. I can't lie to you, bro. Nas gave it to you, bro. He did, bro. Ether was harder than the takeover, bro. He had time because he concentrated on only you. He didn't. It wasn't a bunch of people. You got it. Dame got shotty. Dame got 2 in the calf muscle. Wow, like real quick. Ether was crazy, man.
No, Ether was. It just was a.
Ether's a classic. That whole battle was a classic, man.
It
2
really
Titans
is.
at the top of their game, like head to head, going at it. It was beautiful, and they both still came out really. It didn't end nobody's career. Nah. So it was good. And then they turned around and got together. Did Black Republicans and killed. Man, they should have did a whole EP together, man.
I think they should do one now.
Yeah, it'll be ill.
People would love it. Okay, we just named 2 rappers who are on the Mount Rushmore of rap.
Absolutely.
You know, who's the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas? So let's take it over to Biggie for a second.
Whew.
Let's add that third Titan that's on the Mount Rushmore of rap.
That boy is so talented, man. I did an album nobody bought, me and Dre. It was called Back Up Off Me. I'm only joking. We did 500,000. RIAA certified. Look it up. And we had a song on there called Who's the Man? And it was a beat done by Mark the 45 King. And I always like to do stuff with, I was like, yo, I'm not just going to go grab anybody. I'm going to do records with my people, with my friends. So I got King Just from Staten Island. I had Todd one because that was my little brother, and me. And I asked Big. And Big was like, yeah, I'll do. Let me hit the beat. I'll do it. So we was in the studio, and he came in the studio, and we turned the beat up, and he was rocking. He was like, yo, this beat crazy. Who did the beat? And I was like, Mark the 45 King. He's like, yo, this shit right here, this shit is crazy. Like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on this. And he's like, see, he's roasting weed, and he just smoked, and he was rocking, and he just smoked, and he was listening, and then he was like, Ed, come walk in the booth with me, man. I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, I'm ready. Just go in the booth. And I go in the booth. He said, yo, you remember the roll call shit y'all just do in the morning? The what's up, y'all? What you got to say? I was like, yeah. He was like, yo, do that with me. And then I'm going to wave you out. And I got it from there. And then they punched him in. And me and Big together said, what's up, y'all? What you got to say? And he did like this. And he just murdered it. Big Smoke, Chronic all day. Slay MCs, I'm Precious Son, like George Jefferson. Like, you could go find it online. I mean, yo, he killed it. He doubled it. And he was gone. He was gifted, bro. It's just like the rap gods reached down from the sky and said, you. He had it, bro. He was arguably the best I've ever heard in my life, yo. Biggie was it, bro. He was the epitome of everything that's good about hip hop. I just did my latest podcast about the distinct voices of hip hop. If you have a voice, if you have one of those voices that people will always remember, Biggie's voice is different than anybody else's voice in hip hop. Snoop is another person that got one of those voices. Slick Rick had one of those voices. Q-Tip got one of those voices. Rakim got one of those voices. KRS-One with the clarity and the enunciation of every word, every syllable has one of those voices. Bro, Biggie was gifted, bro. Gifted. One of my favorite songs Biggie ever did is him and Jay-Z, I Love the Dough. That last verse, press. We hit makers with acres, roll shakers in Vegas, you can't break us. They couldn't score if they had point game, they lame. He's like catch more cases than outfield doors. Most rap cats ain't seen war. Couldn't score if they had point game. They lame. Speak my name, I make you dash like Dame. You on a song with Jay-Z? And your last lyric is I'll make them dash like Dame? I love the dope, man. I was like, yo.
Nah,
I was like, yo, this dude here,
gifted.
man. Notorious Thugs, the way he adapted today's style and murdered it, is moaning Biggie. On the song with Jada Kiss, Jada is one of the illest of all time. That's another distinct voice. Okay to Jada.
Shout to Jada. Top 5 dead or alive.
Oh my God, he is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Jada's
a beast.
Single-handedly murdered Dipset by himself, son.
Jada is a beast. That boy to this day is a beast.
Beast. Biggie, man, Biggie was just a lyrical genius, man. He just was.
Yeah, but you just said something I didn't even know. I mean, how dope is it that you shared the booth with Big?
Oh, yeah.
Because we live in an era where everybody is flying in.
That's one of them. No, I stood next to this man in a recording studio in Brooklyn and actually said words into the mic at the same time that he was saying them, and then turned to my left and watched him spit a verse, bruh. Like it was nothing, no paper, no nothing, just whop. Let me double a couple of pieces of that. Doubled, bop, gone. I was like, yo. And all of us in the studio like, yo, we're going to remember for the rest of our lives what we just saw. What we just saw happen right here. We're going to remember it for the rest of our lives. He was that ill.
So you knew in real time, this is special.
Yeah.
Like I just shared a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, we're probably one of the greatest of all time. Absolutely. And if Big ain't on your greatest of all time list, throw your list in the garbage, bro. You have to. You can't say he ain't. There's no way to say he ain't. And this is just beyond hits. Just his presence, his lyrical ability, his vocal ability, his presence, the way that he was everything as a great rapper, a great storyteller, a great battle rapper, a great rhymer, a great boaster, make records for women when he had to. He was that ill. And still remain him at the same time. Women love Fucking You Tonight, him and R. Kelly. Love that record. And he's saying some crazy shit on there. Crazy, but it's still within the vein of being Big, man. Yeah, Big as hell. He was lyrically.
Nah, he was from put it this way. You can listen to his lyrics. Big died in 97.
97, March.
Yeah. If you play a Big record today, those lyrics stand up and stand the test of time like they was written earlier this afternoon.
Right, against anybody.
Against anybody.
Against
he was
anybody.
Just that gifted. Let me ask you, do you think, knowing both Big and Pac, would they have been friends if both of them lived?
Absolutely.
You got no doubt about that?
No doubt about it. There was a love there, man. It was the other elements that got into it that kept them apart. There was a love, man. There was a love there. They shared a bond. They were friends, before the crap. They were friends, and I think from Pac's perspective, that's why he was so hurt behind it, because they were friends. And I think there's a piece of him that felt like, well, if you didn't have anything to do with it, you knew it was going to happen. Why you ain't tell me? And from Big's perspective was like, doggy, I didn't know it was going to happen. I was in the complete dark because I'm in another studio doing my thing. Doesn't mean I have anything to do with what you're doing. You didn't come to the studio to see me. You came to the studio to do a song with Little Sean, and Jimmy was supposed to pay you. And Jimmy and Jack were friends. That's what happened to you. They ain't had nothing to do with it. I didn't know. I did not know. And then it just, after it happened and after Pac went in, everything just got so blown out of proportion. And then, Pac's in jail, and then he's with Suge. And we know what Suge and Puff already had the beef, but behind Suge's man getting killed. And then it's now, okay, now it's not Biggie and Pac anymore, it's Bad Boy and Death Row. And once that happened, there was no coming to the table. But I think now you look back at it all these years later, them two grown-ass men, hell yeah, they'd have been friends again. As soon as Pac walked away from Death Row and he was on his way out, they would have been friends again.
Yo, Ed, it's been my pleasure talking to you, brother. But
Always,
I got to ask
bro.
you something before I let you go. Vlad, he actually interviewed Mike Tyson. And he brought up something from the last conversation me and you had where you said Mike gave you...
He don't remember, do he?
No, Mike said, I do remember.
He does remember the story.
Yes, Mike said he do remember. He said he remembers giving you his Bentley. And, you know, Vlad is like, word? And he's like, yo, you know, I had something like 300 million. What's 500K to me? And that was a hard line for him, but he absolutely remembered. And I just wanted to bring it back to your attention.
I'm happy, man, because my biggest fear was that Mike wasn't going to remember. That was my biggest fear. And if Mike would have said, no, that never happened, get the fuck out of here, I would have looked like a damn fool, like I was telling the biggest lie in the world. And it actually happened. And I was telling everybody, put yourself in that era, being with Mike Tyson. He was Floyd Mayweather Jr. He had more money than, there was nobody matching his dough. No, not drug dealers, not nobody in the music business. Shit, I remember when Puff and them used to throw the after parties to Mike Tyson fights. Mike was 21 years old, sitting on that kind of money, dog. That's kind of money, but we had never seen, there was nobody black that had made that kind of money yet.
Never.
Nobody. The music business wasn't paying us that kind of money. And even at the height of Death Row, the company was valued at $100 million and Bad Boy was valued at $150 million or $120 million. He had $300 million at 20.
Nah, during that same interview, he said, I have more money than anybody in my community, even the entertainers.
Yes, he did.
And he wasn't lying.
He wasn't lying. Nobody was getting, you know, you think about people were quoting his name in their rhymes. People were saying Mike Tyson in their rhymes. That house that 50 Cent ended up selling all the way up in Connecticut, that was Mike's house. He had more money than any of us. Every rapper at that time could pool their money and ain't have as much money as Mike Tyson. So he was right. What's 500,000 to a motherfucker like him at that time?
No, that's what he said. He's like, what's 500,000 to me? I had 300 million in the bank.
Right.
And, but here's the deal. He was the definition at the same time of BMF, blowing money fast.
Yes, he was.
Mike would, you know, anytime you can just give a $500,000 car away, he was spending that money as quick as it came in.
Because he never thought he deserved it. If you read, his book is a great read too. Tyson, it's a great read. And he says, I never thought I would or felt worthy. Like, I don't understand. Like, our mental is different. Like, you give me 500 million right now, I'm like, yeah, I deserve this, baby. I'm gonna wild out a little bit too. I'm gonna buy a couple extravagant things, but being grown, you're smarter with it. Being grown, you're like, let me put this away, let me put this into this, let me put that into that. This is a kid that came from the bottom. Like, you know, reading about him sleeping in abandoned buildings, you know, in the same bed while his mom's is bedding down dudes just to get money so they can eat. That's a different mentality, dog. And when you get there, you kind of like, he had this, why me? You know, and I tell people this, and I think I said this with you before, Prez, when Pac died, Stretch died, and Big died, well, not in that order. It was Stretch first, then Pac, then Big, and I knew that I had been around these dudes as much as I was. I questioned it. Why me? Why am I the only one that's living out of these dudes? Why? Why did you not let me get in that car with Biggie? Why did I not come back and jump and ride with Stretch to meet me at Carbon? Why was I just at Carbon waiting for him? Why did you spare me? And I guess that's how Mike felt. Why are you giving me this? I'm just a fat kid with a lisp from Brooklyn who Customato took under his wing and taught me how to fight. And I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. I'm only 20 and you're giving me all this responsibility and all of these people coming at me and this huge entourage of, are they my friends? Are they not my friends? And I'm in love with this woman and I don't know if she's using me or really love me. And that's the thing later on that he told me about him giving me the Bentley. He said, you never asked me for shit. I just wanted you to have something nice. You my man. Every time I saw you, it was positive. We had fun. You would never ask me for nothing. Nothing. I can understand.
Yeah, but he damn sure remembered it.
Yeah, I can understand it. I got to see that interview, man. Yeah, cool.
Yo, but again, man, it was my pleasure. We got to do this again soon.
Definitely,
Ed.
my brother.
I mean, I love sitting and conversating with you. Your perspective, your humor, you always, this is just always such an entertaining part of my day. So thank you very much on behalf of VladTV.
Shout out VladTV all day, every day.
Yep. Shout to you and see you next time. Love you, my brother.
Love you, brother. Peace, y'all.
Be good.